Good. All right, guys. So we're making this first video to kind of explain the competitor cycle because now that it's me and Kev working together, we wanted to kind of have something where it's just a little more structured in a sense of kind of explaining to you what you're getting, and mainly just for a reason to grow what we have going on. So like, just like we can expand on this just like in the beginning where we kind of just used to like come up with competitive stuff and put it together, and now we're just kind of expand and grow as our gym's growing. So it's pretty cool that we can actually have people that want to do this and stuff. So yeah, we figured we'd make this video in order to pretty much explain some of that. Anything?
Yeah, so I'm super pumped about this program. Me and Dakota spent a lot of time going through it. There's some.
I think it will take a lot of time.
It will take a lot.
Like in the future.
Yeah.
Like we have a lot of work ahead of us,
Which is good. I mean, it's good. We're bringing some cutting edge things into this cycle in terms of what the big guys are doing in CrossFit. It's cool. That being said, the cycle itself is going to be it's going to take quite an investment from you, and we want to make sure that you're coming on board for the right reasons. The goal of the program is to build a foundation to be a competitor in CrossFit at maybe the regionals level, maybe the games level, maybe go to Wadapalooza next year as a team, individuals, those sorts of things.
Make sure you're loud enough, just because I don't have a good night.
Yeah. Sweet.
Just talk loud.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean that's really what we want to point out about this. I mean, this cycle is not going to prep you for the Open. It's going to be constantly overreaching in terms of your strength foundations and putting mass on, taxing your anaerobic system, that sort of thing. So make sure your goals align with what this program is before you decide to jump in. And if you do decide to jump in, jump in all the way.
Yeah. So this first thing to point out is just like kind of touch on what Kev said. This is not a program that will necessarily improve your fitness. Or really, I think it's better off to say like, who is this program for, right? Because a lot of times when we call things competitive, people think that it necessarily means that it's better than whatever else is out there, and it's not necessarily true. I want you to think of it more as like a tool for the job, a right tool for the job at any given time. It can change and vary. Same thing with this program. So in the next 3 months, our whole entire program is based on hypertrophy, and we're not going to do well in the Open or as good as we could have done because of it. Specifically, what I mean is the Open is based on volume and conditioning for the most part, volume and gymnastics, as well as lightweight weightlifting. And we're not really, we're doing a little bit of it, but we're not really focusing on that. And that would be our focus, especially movements that come up in the Open. That would also be our focus for Open cycle. However, we don't have anybody that's really regionals level, and so we're not really we're not looking at it like we're trying to do bad in the Open. We want to do good in the Open, but just not this year, but just next year. And so we're trying to get a little extra, couple months of jump of our training in order to do that. Also, this year there's a lot of little competitions that are coming up. Crush Games, of course, Wadapalooza, which is going to be one of our main things that we're peaking towards, and Granite Games, stuff like that. So we want to get this strength stuff, this foundational strength stuff, kind of out of the way, so that we can start our more CrossFit cycle before those things, so that we don't get knocked out of those. Waiting till after the Open is done would delay it a couple months, so it's not great. And another thing, just like I kind of touched on it, it's foundational strength. So this program could be for someone that's looking to build a foundational strength. If you didn't have that coming into this, it's something that could really help you. So you can use it for that sense. But we're kind of under the impression, or we're doing this program kind of affecting our well-rounded fitness, our overall fitness, knowing that later on we're going to make up for it. And that's something that's really important. If you just did this cycle and didn't, then it would probably be a pretty bad cycle for you, because in the grand scheme of CrossFit, you're not really having balance, and the regular classes would probably do you better. That being said, do you want to touch on kind of like doing multiple things, stuff like that? Like hitting our program one day and then doing the classes then?
Yeah, so there's we all kind of have this habit of like maybe being a little ADD with our training. And this program does not allow for you to, I mean, you have to prioritize recovery is number one thing. There's going to be a ton of volume. It's a lot of work. It's time consuming. And to be jumping into WODs, doing extra work, maybe doing another sport simultaneously, you might end up with overuse injuries. You might end up with just getting burnt out. Also not recovering enough to progress. I mean, you'll see some of these days we maybe test a 5-rep max or something like that. And if you're going week to week and you're not seeing progress, or things are getting harder, heavier. I mean, granted, sometimes it depends on where we are in the cycle. That'll be the case. But if you generally just are feeling beat up all the time, you're not recovering, all your training sessions are trash, you're probably doing too much. And I would look to make sure that the first thing you do is cut out any extra work outside of the program.
Yeah, I mean, just things clash, so it'd be like counterintuitive, it would kind of go against what we're trying to do here, in a sense. Not saying that it's not like an offense to me, but I just want you guys to be aware that like more is not always better, and so like if I was just gonna, I can get really far when I'm a beginner on just doing a bunch of mix of stuff. For my first few years of CrossFit, I could get away with just doing a ton of different things. Nowadays, if I'm not on a program that progresses me because of where I'm at, I don't progress. I just stay pretty much, I stagnate, or I improve one facet and then I get bad another one, improve another one, get bad another one without ever really getting overall progress. So just be aware of that. It's fine to get ideas. I want to add in a little bit of arm stuff, and just had a cool idea from the comp program and then do it. But doing comp program classes, and then also on the side maybe having a running it'd just be too much. It would just make all of it pretty much half-assed. So try not to do that. All right. So the next thing, and we pretty much touched on everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Next thing we want to talk about is themes in the program. There's going to be multiple themes that we basically program down from. First one is going to be Olympic weightlifting. We're going to do a lot more of it. We basically decided that people need a little bit more skill work because we're all pretty much beginners at Olympic weightlifting in a sense, and as far as the people in the program. And we also, this is a really good time just to get that volume in. It's going to be fine for our hypertrophy program. It's going to fit in because we're not wadding as much, so it's not really going to take away from the conditioning, and it's going to be more so like a building thing. So we have 4 sections of that. We're going to do skill work, fatigue Olympic weightlifting, strength Olympic weightlifting, and then barbell cycling. We're going to mix it up. We're pretty much going to lift we're going to do ollie lift every single day. So that's going to be cool.
And one of the things about that, the Olympic lifting work we're doing, the skill work we're doing in general in the program it is massively important that you focus on technical proficiency in the cycle. I mean, you'll see a lot of the weights are lighter than we normally would go, unless it's maybe a strength day, and that's by design. So similar to what we were just talking about, just because you're doing a triple that day doesn't mean you're going and trying to get a new 3-rep max, right? Stay in the percentages that we've laid out, and the reason we do that is for power development and for technical proficiency. If you find that you get at the end of the cycle, your technique is way better, it's setting you up for PRs like crazy. So try to control that, try to make sure that when you're doing these things, you're moving really well.
Cool. Other themes that you're going to see is basically we're doing our hypertrophy stuff. So we're breaking up, we're doing multiple body parts, arms, legs, back, shoulders, abs, and basically breaking that up. We've bunched it into 2 different groups. You're going to see a lot of the same movements over and over. That's fine. We're building volume and repetition. That's the point. For this first cycle, it's going to be 3 months of hypertrophy. For the first month, we're going to use a certain amount of movements, certain type of movements, and then we're just going to keep switching them every month so we can get a nice variation. So you might end up benching 3 times a week. Some of you guys are going to be stoked about that. Some of you guys are not going to be so happy about that. But pretty cool. And those are going to be bodybuilding stuff. Remember, those things, it's not CrossFit, so we're looking for control. We'll put tempos on some of them, but everything should be controlled. You shouldn't be really jerking around. It's all about isolation. We're trying to build a lot of tension or put your muscle under a lot of tension so that they can grow. The whole idea behind the hypertrophy thing is to build a huge base of muscle, and then we can work on we give more room and space, and then we can work on the strength within that muscle with higher percentages and heavier weight type schemes. Pretty much like, say you have a certain muscle, it's only like this big, and then the muscle fiber in there is primed to be as strong as possible. There's no other room for it to grow, so we have to get a little bit bigger and open that up so that there can be more growth there, recruit more muscle fibers. Other themes that you're going to see is just 2 anaerobic and 2 aerobic metcons a week. We normally maybe do 1 anaerobic, like solely anaerobic a week, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we go more on the lower aerobic power. This is going to be, even our aerobic stuff is going to be more towards power. Basically, we're just trying not to do anything too long to beat the body up, and just kind of, we're trying to stay powerful on this one. So it's good. I think we kind of need that, especially after what I told you from Wadapalooza. It'd be nice to build that base again. And yeah, that's pretty much it for themes. Do you have anything?
No.
Cool. So we're gonna do a few things this with this cycle. The program will be posted just like normal on a Monday, and then Monday's always a rest day. We're gonna add in something called a checkpoint. Every Friday is gonna be a rest day, just like it's been. Except on Friday, what we ask is that during this checkpoint, we're gonna post. We want you guys to post 4 different or 5 different things. And we'll just remind you guys, but the checkpoint is so we can kind of see where you're at in your training. We can help you out individually, and just kind of so you can kind of be aware of things too. So the checkpoint has 5 things. First one is going to be motivation on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. It's okay not to be motivated. We have ups and downs. Sometimes I watch 300 and I'm motivated for 3 months, and then other times I just want to chill out. Obviously, I train during both of those times, so I just have to be aware when my motivation's low and adjust my training because of that. Maybe I put less pressure on myself or do certain things to try to enjoy it. Number 2 is going to be recovery, 1 through 10, 10 being the highest as well. How do you feel on that rest day? Are you annihilated? Do you need 3 more rest days? Do you feel like good? Kind of stuff like that. We don't just want a number, we want a little blurb. After that is going to be tweaks and injuries. Are you hurt? Do you have anything that's annoying you? Like right now I have something annoying me in my right calf, and then the next thing is going to be, what am I doing for it? And so, a good example would be like, I'm going to floss every single day, I'm trying to do ROM mod every single day, I've been putting the compacts on it, stuff like that. And then lessons learned from that week, basically from that week and the end of the week before, kind of like, I am realizing when I do butterfly pull-ups, I'm sloppy and all over the place, so I'm going to try to stay together. I also noticed that, in that anaerobic workout, I just couldn't get the power going after doing back squats, stuff like that. All right. Keep track of those throughout the week so you have a pretty good checkpoint for us. The best athletes will have a really detailed checkpoint. Anything to add on it?
Yeah, so this is huge, I think, because we're all coming into this program with different work capacity, for example, maybe different training histories, injuries, things of that nature. And this is good for us, but it's also good for you. You can look at these week to week and go back and look at them yourself, and you can say, hey, I'm starting to get some elbow tendonitis this week. Like, what did I do differently? Is it just that I truly have overuse, or am I under recovering? Am I eating as much as I was? Did I do voodoo bands last week? Things of that nature. You can look, week to week and determine based on these metrics how to keep yourself on track, basically. So use them.
Cool. And that goes along with just tracking workouts. Continue doing what we're doing, putting stuff on whiteboards, kind of posting stuff, tracking all your stuff. Not just major lifts. Awesome, you have a great 1 rep max. We like that, but obviously that's really, in the scheme of CrossFit, that's like a very small thing. But just as far as tracking, what I'm trying to say is just don't just only track that. I really care about like intervals and max numbers on gymnastic stuff, and like, what weights you used last week for the band, or what color and size band you used. I go by width, and then did you get to another band the next week? Stuff like that, super important. And just remember that this sport is the sport of fitness is way more than just lifting heavy weight for one. So don't allow yourself to get caught in that where you start to be upset that maybe whatever you want, max is moving or anything, or just focusing on that one. There's just like a whole nother world out there of stuff that's involved in your fitness. I never really got my true 1 rep max tested at Wadapalooza or in the qualifier, so how much weight does it hold? One thing we missed too is just another thing along with the theme of our training this month or in the next 3 months is going to be max gymnastics efforts. We put in those anaerobic stuff and we're building in ways for you guys to just go for broke. And the main thing is just even with the aerobic stuff, don't pace this next 3 months. So like if you see a set of 20 toes to bar, I know I preach it a lot, pacing and stuff, that's great for competition, but right now we want to know your limits. So like if you see a set of 20 toes to bar, try to get it done unbroken. Or if you do get, like say you get 12 and you have to hop off the bar, don't hop back on and just do a single. I want you to rest like 15, 20 seconds and then get back on and do another huge set. And that's what we're looking for, really big sets, finding your maxes so that you kind of have an understanding of how far you can push it under fatigue. There's a level of how far you really need to go. If you think about it, like, think about a certain number, in an open wad, you're gonna see around 20 toes to bar. So if you know, hey, look, even under fatigue, I can do 20 straight through. That's a good thing to know. You want to talk about recovery a little bit?
Yeah. So for many of you, this is going to be an increase in volume, and it's going to be an increase in volume as we progress through the cycle as well. And because of that, you really need to prioritize recovery. I know we touched on it a little bit. What does that mean? That means that you should be in a caloric surplus probably this whole cycle. What does that mean for nutrition? I mean, a simple feedback mechanism is don't be hungry, right? Eat a lot. Make sure you're getting the protein requirements you need. If you don't know what those are, come talk to us individually. Make sure you're getting plenty of carbohydrates as well through the cycle. You're going to be, you're going to be doing a lot of work. We need to recover from it. Prioritizing sleep is huge. It's massive. A lot of times, if you find that you're struggling session to session, that's like maybe one of the first things to look at. Am I getting enough sleep? Dakota mentioned ROMWAD. It's great. I mean, I do it myself, and I find that if I don't do it or don't do some sort of stretching between sessions, I come in and I start to get pain again, things like that. So make sure that you're doing some sort of recovery protocol in terms of stretching after you work out, and then warming up. Actually warming up, not coming in and just today we're starting off a snatch and like I air squat a couple times and then start snatching.
We're gonna actually, we haven't gotten around to it, but for this cycle, and I think in the future, just for now at least, we're gonna write up like 3 warm-up templates that you guys have to do, and there's goals in them basically, and we're just gonna program a template per whatever day fits for it, and it's basically like that's where you're gonna get some of your skill work stuff on the rower and get some volume accumulation with some of your gymnastic stuff. Me and Kev talk about a lot before this. It's just like basically priming the body to do the work. There's a difference when you're priming the body to do work and the work is a test. And maybe you have to watch out how you do certain things because you want to activate but you don't want to tire out. But right now we don't really give a shit about that too much. So we're just trying to get the body firing. So doing a ton of gymnastic volume in a warm up will help. We're also going to force you guys to do some stuff that's going to be beneficial to you. The stuff that we should do that a lot of times we don't, and so you'll see that for sure. Just like a thing too on that recovery, I think that if you're prepared to do this program, then you have to understand that there is no programming without this recovery and nutrition. The days when we could do what we considered hard programming or train harder without it are over in that sense, and I think just think of it as part of the program. It's not just about the workouts anymore, right? And I think we've all kind of graduated past that. Some learning the hard way and also just through experience, but just be prepared for that. That's a big thing. Floss band, just be crazy about it. You have to live the life of an athlete if you're going to do this competitive program. If you're a part-time athlete, that's awesome for life. I mean, you could come in and hit 3 CrossFit classes a week, and I think personally for me, that creates an amazing amount of fitness, more than most people have in the United States. But this being a different kind of program, you have to kind of you'd have to be kind of all about it in that sense. And so if you are, no matter what your skill level is, then you'll be good to go on this. Motivation is probably more important. Application.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other things? Awesome. All right, guys. So let us know if you have any questions. We're gonna post the workouts. Basically, 1 week's workout, just like it's been going. And then just let us know how it's going. One thing that, oh yeah, this is just one last thing. I see it in the past, like people kind of switching things up, like one day before the other day. That's okay, just be aware that we're organizing these things in order to be most optimal for your body. So like there's energy systems and ways that the body works that like if you train one before the other, it could null and void the other one. Small example, anaerobic is like really power based. You need to have power to do it. If you do the aerobic ass kicking Saturday workout on Monday and then on Tuesday do the anaerobic, chances are whether you've eaten well and recovered or not, your power will be blunted. So you'll essentially turn an anaerobic workout into an aerobic workout. And then when you go to compete and you wonder why you can't get the anaerobic energy system firing, that's why. All right, so just be aware we do order it for a reason. It's okay if you have to switch things up and you're gonna have to adjust movements and maybe switch some things to dumbbells and some things to barbells and whatever, but just be aware everything has a cause and effect. You can ask us if you need any help on that. I'm kind of figuring out where to go with that. All right, cool.